What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the GINN podcast. This is your host, Gilbert Sanchez. Appreciate you tuning in on streaming platforms right now. Head over to their YouTube as well. If you're just listening in general, I appreciate you so much. But like I said, once again, we're back in the studio. Definitely not gonna stop. Like I said on the previous one, I got a lot of people coming in. Just want to know the backstory. Just want to know what they're doing. Biggest thing I want to do is get people from San Antonio because I feel like there's a lot of hidden talent here, and that's what I'm doing in the studio. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. But man, we'll get right into it. With I got Ja.
Yes,
say
sir.
it right.
Ja, yes, sir.
How you doing today? How you feeling?
Living the dream, dog. Living the dream.
Like I said off air, I got some questions for you. Send them to you just to see just to give you some context. I didn't want you to come in here blindfolded. It's pretty straightforward, but first and foremost, are you from San Antonio?
Yes, sir. Born and raised Converse.
Oh, okay.
Converse, Texas.
Gotcha. So you're Judson High School?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Class of 2016. What's up?
Shout out to them. But how was high school for you? Did you do any type of music during high school?
Yeah, I did. I did music, but I was a theater nerd. I was the president of a drama club, and
Okay.
I did that from sophomore year, and then my senior year, I got a full ride scholarship, speech and debate, but they do acting too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but in the mix of all of that, I did music. It kept me out of trouble for sure. Well, theater kept me out of trouble. My theater coach fucked with me so hard that we had a library that we never used.
Yeah.
And he said, as long as I kept my grades up, I can clean that whole thing out, made my own studio in there. So I had like an Xbox, TV, couch, my whole recording setup.
Yeah.
Stayed out of trouble. That's how I got my full ride scholarship.
Scholarship to where, if you don't mind me asking?
Wiley College. I don't know if you've seen The Great Debaters with Denzel Washington.
I've heard of it. I've never seen the movie. Yeah,
you should watch it. It's really intense. But I went to that college for a few. And then I went to Tennessee State like right before COVID hit. And then COVID hit.
Damn.
And then I came home. I didn't get to finish because of COVID. I have like really bad asthma.
Yeah.
And then I got used to just not going to school.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. It's different. Like my niece, she's a sophomore, about to go into a junior, and she's it's so different because I mean she wakes up 8, maybe 8:30 the latest, and she gets to be like opens her laptop at 9 o'clock.
Man.
Like it's so weird. Like you don't have to. You just sit up on the couch, go brush your teeth, and then just open your MacBook.
It becomes depressing at a point. Like I only did the online thing right when COVID hit until the semester ended. And I was like, I can't do that shit. Like I really can't. Cause I'm more of a in-person learner.
A visual.
Yeah, visual and tangible. Like
interaction type.
Like be there with me, interact with me. I need to ask you questions. If you're on Zoom, you can ask questions, but it's not as quick. No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I definitely don't want to do it. So I'm just waiting until like campus is safe. I'll probably go
for
back.
sure. It's not the same. I don't think I would be able to. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do it. I'm pretty sure I'll be in your shoes right now. Just be like, hey, let's
wait it out.
Let's wait it out till everything gets the dust settles and we can go back to campus. Because there is honestly, so I graduated from UTSA, so there was some courses where I needed to be in the course or like physically in the class.
Be there,
to pass the class. Honestly, if it was online, I definitely wouldn't have passed that course. So
it makes my grandmother upset, but hey, I would like to graduate and hold up my 3.3 GPA. It's not the best, but it's better than most. You know what I mean?
100%.
I tried it out, and once the 3.3 went to a 3.0 for like 2 seconds, I was like, nah, we're not doing this.
Let's get back into it. Yeah. What's so if you don't know right now and you're watching, can I call you a rapper?
Yeah. Rapper, artist, whatever,
okay, musician.
Whatever you feel.
So I first want to say, I went to your YouTube channel. And there's a song that you did in 2018.
Oh gosh.
I don't even know like the name of it. It's just like a couple of letters. I think that's what it is. Like it's your name and then it's like
who the fuck gave you the mic?
Okay, yes. That's exactly it. So that was this morning. So I you know what I'm saying, just doing my research just to see, give me some context. And I was just like, what the fuck? That's hard. Like just I was not expecting that. But when I heard it, I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be dope today. This is gonna be dope. And then
thank you.
I know I was talking off air too as well. Like whenever we were trying to set up this thing and schedule it, you had we were just trying to schedule it, and then like I said, I just do my research, go to the Instagram page, click some links, like just view everything. Went to notice the
last single.
The last single. That's the first thing I've heard, and I was just like, this right here is there's a message behind it, and I want to know why, and I'm very, very curious. So I sent that message, and then I sent another one. I was like, you know what? Like, what's your schedule look like? I don't know if you remember. And I was just like, this has to happen as soon as possible. Just because
because at first you were like, we'll get to it.
No, see, I wasn't even like that.
No, I didn't take it. I didn't take it offensively. But when I saw it, I was like, okay. Like, I'm gonna hit him up like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And then as soon as like, it wasn't even like the next day. Like it was like a few minutes after.
5 minutes at least.
You were like, never mind. Like, come over here.
For sure. And like I said, the biggest reason was I was like, there's a message behind it. The flow was crazy. You if you haven't seen the video right now, it's in there. I'm assuming it's in like your living room.
Oh yeah, it was my grandma's house and my mom's house.
Okay, so that was there too as well. And I know you're sitting outside with
my best friend.
Yeah, with the friend. That was like the whole thing was just like, yeah, this has to happen. This has to happen. So
thank you.
I mean, we can talk about that first. What's the message behind it? What was your whole thing as far as creating that?
Well, honestly, if I'm being like completely honest, shout out to Q that shot the music video. We've been like in contact for a while. He did another one of my videos that hasn't dropped yet. And he's just been working with me on the low, and I just keep sending him music, and like all the music that I have like stuck like in the stash, right? And he hit me up and he said, hey, can I ask you a question? And I was like, yeah, what's up? He said, respectfully. I was like, oh shit.
What's this?
He said, respectfully. I said, oh, what's up? And he said, do you make music about anything other than girls? And I do.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like people like it. You know what I mean? But then I sat back and I just went through all the recent songs that I've recorded and I sent him and all of that. And I was like, damn, it has been a minute since I have given anybody an update on my life. Like, my love life, situations that happened in the past or that, insecurities that I battled, but like nobody really knows like the things that go between me and my mom. You know what I mean? They don't know. Like, and then on top of that, I really did question if I should stop making music because, like I said, I did theater. So acting is another love that I have grown to have, and going to college and learning that I liked film and directing. Like, I saw myself more as a creator. So I was like, why would I sell myself short? Like I can stop making music now and still be a creator,
Yeah.
So once I started to like sit down and try to figure it out, the pain just kept eating at me more and more. And I hated that he asked me that question. So I was like, all right, let's figure out why I feel this way.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I feel this way because I don't feel like anybody's paying attention. Nobody cares. Nobody knows who Ja is, or they know who Ja is and they know what song is going to come out, or they know what the song is going to be about. So like, what's the point? You know what I mean? And then let's dig a little deeper. What else is going on? Like, oh, well, yeah, my mom isn't cool. Like, I only grew up with my mom, like I'm the oldest at that. And that hurts. You know what I mean? That hurts a lot. Like not having my father around and not being like on eye level with my mom as an adult, because she still sees me as a, a kid, which I am. I'm still her child and all that, but I feel like I'm an adult.
Yeah, 100%.
I get a certain respect, or not like that, but I feel like, some type of viewage. I don't want to get myself in trouble because I know she's going to watch this.
I got a question. So I was going to save this for pretty much the middle.
Okay.
Just to have a little juicy, but I mean, you just mentioned it. So I feel like this is somewhere on the basis of what you're talking about. So you had made a post May 7th of this year, and it said, "The day I decided to try again." And that's something I saw this morning too as well. And a lot of people, I mean, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. So
yes,
when I read that, I was just like, yeah, I'm putting it in my notes for sure, because a lot of people don't realize that I believe there's like 1 in 5 Americans that deal with mental health. So it's a huge deal. I myself have gone through it. I've been public about it. I've said it before on the podcast. And I know my buddies are huge advocates for anxiety, depression, just mental health all around. But that right there is the struggles that people go through every single day. And I appreciate you saying that, just because a lot of people aren't vulnerable like that. It takes a huge step out of somebody to have that courage to actually say what's actually going on in their life. And I think people are better when they do talk about it. But
I feel like it's hard to, not because, well, obviously because of the mental issues. And I use that word lightly. So I hope nobody takes that offensively. But sometimes people that don't really struggle with it fully use it for an image. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, and I don't want to tell people like, oh, you're faking this. But there's sometimes you can catch it. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, oh, that's just for the rollout.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, no, like, I've cried at night. Like, I've cried myself to sleep. I've decided what way, what day, and how I was going to try to commit suicide. Like that. Yeah. That's a real thing. Like, it can't just be like for the music. It can't just be for the art. Like, no, this is real life. You know?
I've said it before on the podcast. I used to think to myself, like, damn, G, this shit is not real at all. Like, there's no way you can go through this. I was at the highest level that I thought I was at. And then COVID hit, pandemic hit. And I had just finished getting out of a breakup. I had, of course, moved out. I was living with a girl by myself. And from that point on, well, before all that, I had lived with my mother since I was like 22, 23, and then moved in with this girl. So my whole life I was in a vicinity with someone there. So it was like someone's there, but transitioning to an apartment by myself, it was just you. You're alone, and everything was closed. Literally everything, like, you had to DoorDash, Uber. Even that was limited as well as far as getting food, like freaking toilet paper, like just all these things that were
just pulled away from you.
Yeah, exactly. And I started to get into this mental state of why am I here? What's the purpose? Just these dark thoughts of not being here. Like, what would life be if G wasn't here? How many people would show up at my funeral? Like, all these thoughts, like, that people, I guess, like I said, just aren't vulnerable to talk on camera, on podcasts, in general with people. It's just it's a crazy thought. But like I said, you put that, and I was just like, yeah, I'm for sure gonna talk about that 100%, because that needs to be more talked about. And then on top of that, I want to touch back to you had said something about not being seen and not being just people not. I'm assuming just not
appreciating me, bro. Nobody appreciates me. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody.
Yeah, I
feel like I ride for San Antonio, bro. I ride, like, every artist I've encountered with. It doesn't even matter if I made music with them or not. I respect them. I could not like your music, but I love the fact that you keep going and you have art to make and you are passionate behind it. And I feel like I don't get the same love back fully.
Yeah. No, I got you. I'm the same way. I mean, obviously podcast is a little bit different, but I'm definitely the same way. And that's the whole thing about the studio. I just want to put San Antonio on the map. I want to get the best people doing what the biggest thing their passion. And it takes a lot to say that you have a passion, or actually to actually figure out it's a passion. Because some people think it's a passion, and then a couple years from now that they just stop doing because they have
trials and tribulations get in the way, and that really determines if you're really about it or not.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
But to go back to the Noticed with the past tense, Noticed single, the vibe was dope, and I'm not too sure if you so the whole process as far as coming up with what you were going through, that's kind of just what made the actual single. Correct?
It was really a venting moment. I went through, I named it all between people not really messing with my music like that, not being cool with my mom, losing a friend, that was crazy, and then losing my best friend, my brother, and that wasn't even by death. That was just by disagreements.
Gotcha.
But we were kept apart for like damn near like, I want to say 12 years. Like we didn't hang around each other. We didn't grow up together or anything. We finally got the chance to live together, and I don't want to put family business out like that, but we've seen things that we didn't really feel like we were prepared for. And I made a mistake and did some things that I regret. And I feel like he didn't think that I would say something like that. And I feel like that was the perfect time to admit it. Like, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I love you. Like, we might not ever talk again. You might hate my guts, but I love you enough to own up and take accountability. But yeah, like all of that. And that's one thing that I wanted to be noticed. And it's past tense because I've gotten to the point where it's like, fuck if you see me or not. Eventually, you won't have a choice. Eventually, you'll hear me when you're like shopping. Eventually, you'll hear me, you'll see me, and you just won't stop.
I remember what I was going to say because I had forgot. But this is what I was going to say. And I've said it before on the podcast. People probably get tired of me saying this shit. But back in September of 2020, I was going through pretty much a phase of looking at views, seeing how much subscribers I have, how many followers, just different things where social media can like grab a hold of what's actually inside your brain, and it tore me apart. And I wanted to quit so bad, but then I was watching an interview, and the person said, "What if it can turn out better than you thought?" And that right there fucking clicked. And that whole month of October, that next month, I put out 8 episodes, 4 with guests, 4 of just myself talking. Had to get into a rhythm as far as practicing the way I speak, because if I wanted to get better at shooting anything, it was just practice makes perfect, or at least damn near perfect. So I can relate to that 100%. I was just trapped in this state of mind of, are people noticing what I'm doing, the hard work that goes into it, the late nights, the crying, because there was some crying involved too in there as well, because this whole thing of social media and internet can like cause a frenzy in your fucking brain, which is that just goes back to mental health. But
can we like bring up the fact that everybody was at their all-time high before COVID hit? Like everybody I talked to, they're like, bro, it was the best time of my life, and then COVID hit. And I'm like, same. Like fucking same. I feel like my whole world just crashed in front of my eyes, like right before COVID.
Man, I think of it
the worst.
Honestly, so I saw a tweet the day before yesterday, and it was like 2020 was a year that everybody lost.
Hell yeah.
Not even like losing, winning, but like you lost a year, because some way, somehow, you're affected by it by any means. Someone was affected, whether it was a death in the family, you actually got COVID, just anything in general, you were affected. Like 100%, everybody was. And I think that's where the tweet came from. But it was just like, damn, we really lost a year. Like, how the fuck does that happen?
No, and there are some people that were like, yeah, I was fine though. Like, I just wasn't in my house. And I'm like, yeah, you were in your house losing your damn mind.
For sure.
You probably didn't even have tissue to wipe your ass at one point. Like, you lost your mind at one point trying to figure out how am I going to wash my ass tonight.
100%. Oh shit, bro. That's a whole nother conversation, man.
My bad. I know I'm going off on a tangent. My bad.
No, you're good. This is the whole podcast style. But as far as the music, I mean, let's get why music? Like, what makes you attractive to music and to keep doing it and to actually come back to actually do it again?
I always say that music is freedom. And we all fighting to be free some way, somehow. And also music is therapy, dude. And in life, we need therapy. Like no matter what anybody feels, it doesn't matter your gender, your color, your pronoun, your religion, you need therapy. And sometimes we can't afford therapy the way that society has made us believe we need to have it. So I've used my music as my own personal therapist. I am very analytical. I am very observant. And I am very blunt when it comes to like writing. So that's why music. But why do I do music? I question that every day. But that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring it out. I'm young. I'm gonna continue doing it though. Like I'm not gonna stop because I'm good at this. I'm good at what I do.
No, 100%. I'll be the first to tell you that shit when I first heard.
Who the fuck gave you the mic?
Who the fuck gave you the mic?
Yo, you know that's that's honestly that's an ode to Eminem's first group. That's a song that they made, and that was actually the first rap album that I listened to. I think it was just called D12. I don't know.
I'm not too sure.
It was right before the Infinite tape, or maybe it was on the Infinite tape. But I remember his niggas was like yelling. He was like, "Who the fuck brought you here? Yo, who the fuck gave you the mic? They said that you could flow." And I was like, "That's how I feel. That's how I feel."
And it was fucking fire.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm not too sure if that was your most viewed on your YouTube channel. But
nah, my most viewed was Zha Zha Land. It was because it was a short film.
I watched that one too.
It was a whole team involved. Bro, that was, oh my God.
Stressful?
Dude. So so the person's house that I did that at said she would help. Shout out to you. I don't want to say your name if you're mad at me if I'm saying this, but we use your house. We made a flyer, and on the flyer it said music video shoot. And I was like, send this to everybody so they can come. I sent it to everybody. She just texted people and was like, hey, pull up to my crib. We have a kickback.
Damn.
She didn't let them know that we were doing a music video. So people were getting mad that I was being a director. Hey, can y'all move over here? Hey, can y'all move over there? Hey, stop talking. Just shut up.
You know, just dance.
Like, just dance in silence. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? Mind you, they're all like under the influence. And like midway, I'm gonna tell them myself, but I don't care. Midway, there's a guy that's in the video. He's so messed up. He's like started drama with other people there. Then he throws my main character, the girl that I'm trying to get at, he throws her in the pool. Phone in her pocket. Everything that she's wearing is on, everything. Shit. At that point, she was just like, I want to go home. We didn't even get to close to the end. Like it was supposed to be like a whole series. At that point, I was like, all right, gotta kick everybody out. We're gonna have to just figure it out. And the cinematographer was like, what are we gonna do? I was like,
who knows?
Let's figure it out. And if you watch it, it goes backwards. Like it just goes backwards and I'm just like dancing backwards. Everybody's spinning around and stuff. And I was like, just cut it there. Just cut it there.
That's crazy. So it was supposed to be a whole series.
Yeah.
Series as far as just to show your talent as far as being
acting,
rapping.
singing,
That's what's up.
Yeah. I'm going to do it one day. But next time I'm going to do it correctly. Paid actors, paid everything. Like I don't want to do the volunteer thing because I feel like nobody really cares when it's volunteer. They're like, you better be glad that I'm just here.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I do, but I need effort, please.
100%. No, I think that's, I mean, granted, these are my boys that I've, like I said, we were talking off air about it. But no, same deal. Like I will let them know, hey, can you help me with this? And they're all for it. But like, I feel like if I were to ask somebody that I might be like an acquaintance with, it wouldn't be the same energy. So if you threw some money on the table, then they probably would
most definitely
show up.
This was like, right. I was pit broke, bro. Like, oh my gosh, I was broke. So I was just like, hey, I'll give y'all drinks. I'll bring the plug, like whatever you need. There's some fine girls over here. Pull up. and that's how you would get people. Drugs and girls. But
and you're doing it right. But
it didn't last long. It didn't last long.
I want to get into your creative process, because you, like I said, that video you had on YouTube that I was like, damn, that's fire. You jump into Noticed, and there you go from rapping to the melody type genre of music. You're diverse, 100%. So how do you figure out when writing lyrics that, oh damn, this should be a rap, or fuck, this should be a melody? Or just your creative process as far as actually making music? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, it does. I've never been asked that before. I don't really realize where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sing here. My producer does come to me and is like, this is a job beat, and I'm like, okay, and he'll play it, and 9 times out of 10 it's melodic. But sometimes when he gives me that look and he's like, I'm like, okay, you want me to rap? Okay, I feel you.
That's the energy.
But it just depends how I'm feeling. It depends. I like to freestyle the rhythm, at least, even if it's not the melody. I like to be like, okay, I can sing that. Okay, you know, like sometimes I'll write something and I'm like, like for instance, I have this one song that I'm working on. And it was a funny saying that me and my homeboy said back in college. It was a lot of girls with like fat asses. And I don't even want to say it, but I fucks with you. So I'm gonna just give it away. If anybody steals this before I drop it, that's your ass, because we got to hear first. But we were so dramatic. We'd be like, damn, ma, you know I got that ass, ma. I see you with all that ass, ma. Like, so I had a beat for that and I rapped it. And my best friend was like, that shit is trash. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then, so I never touched the beat for like 3 or 4 months. And then I played it back again and I was like, I really feel like this fits. And then I sung it and I was like, oh shit. Like,
damn, that's dope.
It was literally like the hit. Like I was like, nobody's gonna say no to this one. Like it's a song you can dance to. It's a song that you could vibe to. So
I want to, you bring up a good question when you just said that. How far deep into yourself do you have to be to give the effort in? I mean, I've talked about it before, like have I wouldn't say, I guess you can say like the delusion of like your music. This podcast is like the best podcast out there. Does that make sense? Like,
no, I got you.
The type of confidence the type of confidence you have to be like, damn, this shit is fire. If anybody doesn't fuck with it, that's on y'all.
I always thought there was something like a little bit off about me, because like I'll listen to something and I'm like, yeah, that's good. But then I see it as competition and I'm like, but my shit is better. You know what I mean? And not like towards the person. It's like just towards my creative like enforcement. You know what I mean? So like, to answer your question, you have to feel like you're fucking phenomenal, like at all moments in time. Like, for instance, the people in San Antonio, like I meant it when I said I show love to everybody, because it's not a competition with them that I have. And it's only 2 types of people that I have a competition with: my idols and myself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if it's not my idols or myself, then I really don't feel like we add up. Not saying like, oh, you're not good enough to be on my level. I don't know your goals. I don't know where you're going to say your peak is. I don't know where you're going to be like, okay, this is enough. I'm satisfied. I can see like where Drake is trying to go. Drake is trying to be like, he just got named Artist of the Decade. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
That. Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, he's still going to try to keep going. You know what I mean? So I see where he's trying to go. I'm trying to go in that same spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Donald Glover, like with directing and acting,
it's a genius
I
right
see
there.
what he's trying to do. I'm trying to go for the same spot and beyond. Like that's the only competition that I have, because I'm that great.
Yeah.
Because I'm that like willing and dedicated. And when I like to go back to my creative process, when I want to be better, I go back to my old album. I go back to my old singles. You know, I even go back to the shit that I made like back in middle school. And
why is that? That's interesting.
Because there's gold in it, but it's kinks in it too. So I'm like, okay, I said this, but it didn't resonate with people. So let me just say it like differently.
Yeah.
Let me word it differently. Let me use a different adjective. Let me, you know, like certain things like that. Or instead of singing it, let me rap it. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And again, it's because I'm my own competition.
Yeah. So. I fuck with that so heavy because there's, like I said, I started this in, just when COVID hit, I started this, but like I go back to my videos and see the editing process I took and the video and the actual audio. And just to remind myself, then like it keep going. Like you're doing, I just tell myself all the time, like you've grown so much within a year. Like imagine 5 years, 10 years. And same thing as well, when just to piggyback off what you said, like you hear certain things and you're like, damn, I think this way of it now. Let me just say it differently so maybe people can understand better. So I fuck with that heavy because you just go back just to remind yourself, like, fuck, you've done all this hard work. Why stop now? Like it's coming. Like I said, that's dope. When you, like I said, when you create these music, I always ask this to artists and rappers, do you listen to like a beat first or do you write down, already have lyrics jotted down and then go look for a beat? Like what's your...
It's a mixture. It's a mixture. I have notes in my phone. It's literally like you can scroll for at least 5 minutes. And it's just random bars that I would think about. Maybe I think about it when I'm like showering or I'm about to go to sleep, or maybe I'm like with a girl and she's like, pay attention to me. And I'm like, I just figured out something genius. But if I'm really hurt, bro, like there was this one time I found out that my ex cheated on me and I was going crazy.
Yeah.
Literally, I went back to like middle school style. I got a pencil and I was like hitting it with my like hands and using the pencil and I was like singing it. And I just recorded it and I sent it to my producer and he made the beat to the note, the voice memo. And so it's
the one you were tapping with the pencils.
Yes. And he actually,
that's a good producer.
Dude
right
is
there.
Fucking crazy. He actually put it in the beat. Like you can hear me hit the table with the pencil and it actually sounds like, this sounds phenomenal. I can't wait. I just want to make sure that the visuals for that one is, it shows you how hurt I was. Yeah. Because that was actually right before COVID too. Like I was going through so much.
I feel you. I feel you on that. You brought up Drake and you brought up other artists. And I'm always curious just to hear like what people think, why people think these things. But top artists right now, who you messing with?
Top artists.
Whose music you like?
Drake, of course.
100%. Yeah, I can agree with that. It doesn't even have to be people right now. I guess you can just say people that you kind of grew up on or anything like that. But I know there's a lot of music right now. So
I feel you. Well, growing up, I grew up on Phora. I don't know if you know who Phora is. Phora.
I don't think so. Yeah.
You know,
I'm missing out probably.
There's a song called "To the Moon." If you hear it, you probably heard it. Or "Faithful." Like some girl just probably played it in a car. But he, a lot of my friends say me and him are similar. Like we're very, like, emotional with our music. Before is somebody I grew up on. Childish Gambino, Drake. I grew up, bro. I was listening to Drake before Drake was even like a cool thing to listen to or a cool person to listen to. God bless.
What's the like? Do you remember the first song you've ever heard for Drake?
It was like.
Or a mixtape, I guess.
It was like Untitled. I don't even feel like I'm trying to like think because this was back in the DatPiff days and LimeWire days. Like I was just like finding things. I was I was that kid that wanted to be like the CD man growing up.
100%.
So like I was always looking up for new things. I didn't even know it was Drake until like years later. I was like, oh shit.
I don't know if you remember whenever, I think it was like Club Paradise and like, it was a song with Rick Ross.
Where the cover art was like Blake Griffin.
Yeah. And then you had to go to like drizzy.blogspot OVO or something like that. I don't remember the exact URL, but that was a fucking, what a time, man. That was a dope.
I always joke and I say like all Drake lyrics are like Bible verses. I'm like, you didn't know it was Proverbs 23 verse 2?
Captions for days, Instagram captions for days. That is probably still a thing. I know I used to fucking do that back when, I don't know, 2013, 2014, maybe even sooner before that, but man, the first Drake song, my buddy of mine showed me. We're in, I think it was like a computer class in like 8th grade, and we put on YouTube the music video "It's the Best I Ever Had," and then obviously like I was just like, damn, this is fire. Like, what else has it got? And then I think it's sooner or later the mixtape. Oh no, I'm sorry. So Far Gone. The mixtape went to that, and then I think that there's another mixtape. I don't remember the actual title of it, but I think it's like Comeback Season.
I think you're talking about Comeback Season. Yeah, because that was like the one right before. So it was like a fall setting. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So that I know there might be another one, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know when that was.
It was far back.
2008, 2009, maybe. Whenever
I've had like 2 concussions between then, so I'm like struggling trying to remember. I'm like trying to piece it together. Oh my gosh, shit.
Man, that's interesting. How take me to a concussion. I've never had anybody talk about a concussion.
Bro, it's just like, you ever had a hangover and like just wake up with a hard ass headache?
With a huge headache. Yeah.
Bro, but it's like all around. Like it's like it feels like your head is just heavy, and then like. The first time I got a concussion, my friends had to like remind me everything. And then like one of my homeboys was like, because I was in college, and he was like, I think you need to call your grandma. Like, and I was like, okay. And all I remember is me being back in San Antonio and going to the hospital. And they told me, because I think I have actually a crack right here. I'm like overly exposing myself. But they checked it. They did the little CT scans or whatever they're called. And they were like, well, you hit your head. There's a crack. You didn't hit the back of your head, so your brain is fine. And I was like, okay. And then I think I don't know what the hell I did. And I ended up hitting my head in the same fucking spot. And I don't remember that one at all. I just remember someone told me I had a concussion. Yeah. And
you haven't had one since?
The crack got a little bit longer. And I was like, great, guys.
Have you had another one since, or those just your 2?
No, I think those are my only 2. I would hope so.
Because when you're hungover, you for me, I just get it right here on the side, and it's just like one spot. So
all over.
I couldn't imagine my full.
Oh my gosh, I feel like brain blast craniums from Jimmy Neutron. That's how I felt, bro. Like it was like a month long. Like that shit was just hurting. It's hurting. Like it wasn't as heavy towards like the second week and the third week, but bro, that first
it was still
week,
there.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't deal. I don't think I went to class for a while, but
yeah, that's fucking wild. I just tangent real quick just to talk about that, because I've never
don't hit your head, bro. Don't hit your head. Your head is very fragile.
It's hilarious. So finish talking about top artists. Are there any other artists that I wouldn't say like mimic, but just like you kind of take some of that, take some of this, and then take what you have and then just mix it all together with create your own monster? What artists do you think you kind of do that with? Or if you just do it by yourself?
I do it from Donald Glover and Fora mostly. Those are probably the only ones that I do that with.
Yeah.
Only because I remember I had heard something where someone had said, a lot of people are sampling these days, but they're sampling something that we already know. And I feel like Fora, Donald Glover doesn't really get the acknowledgement that I feel like they fucking deserve, because they're like amazing. Mainly like Childish Gambino is crazy. Like if y'all go back to his Camp album, even before that, like all his mixtapes before, like I'm working on a song where I sampled one of his songs that I know, like if I put it out and never told anybody, just like who the fuck gave you the mic? Nobody knew that was Eminem, you know? And I feel like if I put that one out, nobody would know it was Childish Gambino, but I'm paying like homage to it. But yeah, it's those two specifically. I don't really see myself, or Lil Wayne, but like everybody's favorite rapper was Lil Wayne at one point. Because he's a GOAT forever. But yeah, those two.
Gotcha. What's so obviously, I mean, we were literally just talking about it like 2008, 2009. Drake was putting out CDs, artist of the decade, and now you're having artists putting out, like putting their music out on streaming platforms where you can be independent. You can go to like things called TuneCore and like things like DistroKid. I think that's what it's called. You can have these independent, and you can have your catalog on there. So times have changed for sure.
Hell yeah.
I think the question I want to ask is, what thing, if anything, could you change about like the music industry going forward in the future, if there's anything at all, good or bad, something that you've seen?
Only because not music-wise, but only because I dealt with it firsthand. Like I told you, I got a full ride scholarship. I got it like twice, and I got it taken away both times. And I started to realize this is very similar to the music industry, only because I've like paid very close attention to like podcasts, interviews and stuff. The things that artists would say is what like I was saying with my scholarship. But the shadiness, bro, like everybody has a I'm eating for me mentality.
Yeah.
If this doesn't benefit me, then why should I care mentality? It's like, bro, we're all here because we love music. We're all here. Yes, we all need money, but if we love music enough and we pay attention to what we love and put the effort towards what we love, we'll all make money from it. I feel like it's that simple, but obviously it's not.
Yeah.
And also like at what I've heard and while doing my research, because I've definitely asked myself, did I want to be independent for the rest of my career, or do I want to, sign to a label? I'm hearing that a lot of people that are outside of the culture owns these, companies that are inside the industry.
Yeah.
And that doesn't sit right with me because, like I said, with my full ride scholarship, I went to a HBCU, and it wasn't like someone that was in our culture that was leading us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say he was white or anything. He was definitely of color, but you can tell his upbringing wasn't within the culture. He was definitely like not there.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
I don't feel like that's very, it's just toxic, bro. That shit is toxic.
I was, do you know who Russ is? Russ? So I was watching, this was like maybe a week or two ago. He was basically just saying on his Instagram, like it was like fucking like 20 stories of like how the industry is like, music industry is like a fucking $1 billion industry. And these labels that are owning the masters to artists are making tons of fucking money, and they're signing deals to this. So I found this interesting. So he was saying like how you can sign a deal, you can get $1 million, $1 million, I guess, a bonus up front. You won't get any. I'm not too sure if you can test this, but this is the way I understood it. You won't get any of that money back until $1 million is reached based off streaming numbers.
Yeah, I heard something similar from T-Pain. He said basically, like, obviously, it's just a loan. Now, you will, like, let's say you have a record label, right? And like you say, you heard who the fuck gave you the mic, and you're like, I want to sign you.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you $10,000 to, like, do whatever you want. You own like everything that I make after that until I make that $10,000 plus whatever interest you add onto the contract. And then I could like go and renegotiate, like, okay, you can own this. That's what J. Cole did. Like each and every like accomplishment he did, he's like, okay, let me go back to that old album. Let me get the rights to that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's weird.
This might sound coming from me, but like I recently saw, because I just I read a lot. I read a lot of articles, but like Taylor Swift, she just made a Taylor Swift version of her fucking her music, and I think like her manager sold it to like things like Scooter Braun or something like that has the rights to her master. So she was just like, fuck it, let me just
remake it.
Let me remake it. And
it's funny because I hate to bring up the joke, but in podcasts, but they're making jokes about like how now everybody's doing that, and like, but it's like older people that can't sing anymore, and so it's like trash as hell. But it's smart. It's smart if you can do it correctly or better. You know, like get your money, get your coins for sure.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy the amount of money that the people that own the masters or the labels or whatever, the amount of money they're making versus the people that are actually signed to it. It's fucking crazy. Like the gap difference is huge from what I've read. And
it's like the things that like my leverage to the record label, if they put me on it, it's chump change.
Yeah.
And I'm fighting for chump change, but they're like being stingy over chump change. I don't get that.
Yeah.
Like I really don't.
And they want you to think that it's good money that you can do
for
a lot.
Me, but it's nothing to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why most people are going, I've seen that I just have independent, that are just independent and then just, well, I mean, COVID hit, so you can't really go on tour, but like that go on tour, that sell merch, that like have other streams of income just to make up from the streaming music whenever you do have it on a independent catalog like that. But yeah, it was crazy times, man. Crazy times. The internet has, like I said, changed the fucking game for sure.
I heard that you don't even need a record label anymore. Like all you need is a website. You just get a website and like have like a certain service where you can email the MP3s to your fans and they just pay you like $5. Like you could just make money from that. Like if you have a big enough following, which is smart as hell. And then on top of that, sell merch. Yeah. On top of that, do shows. Yeah. Like if you have a small team, you could do that. I believe you could do that with like 5 people.
Yeah. Well, I think J. Cole said like in a song or something like that, like the most money you make comes from touring.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Having real fans buy like hard tickets to these shows is really can show an artist like who fucks with you, if people in general fuck with you at all. So that's huge too as well. COVID fucked up a lot of shit. So that's on a back burner. I know there's a lot of fucking artists that are not even doing tours or concerts until like 2022, just because we're still kind of getting back into normal. Texas stayed normal through the whole pandemic, so that's a different fucking story. But like, it's fucking crazy times. How do you? I mean, we just fucking talked about it. Like, I was gonna ask, how do you feel like the internet has impacted the business? But I mean, we just kind of went over pretty much everything.
I feel like we just grazed across it. But to dig a little bit deeper, I feel like we made the internet an actual person.
Oh man, let's get into it. Yeah.
And I hope this doesn't sound like a reach, right? But you know how like everybody has their flaws, but there's beauty within that. Yeah. Trolling is a flaw, in my opinion, but there's beauty in that too. Like if you're an artist or if you're somebody that just wants clout, there's beauty in trolling. Like if somebody's trolling you, 9 times out of 10, we're going to pay attention to how you react. We're going to look into your account. We're going to, see who you are, what you do, what you posted before all of this started. What type of person are you? And now if you are that interesting, I'm invested. You have a fan, you know?
I was literally going to say that. If that's a fan right there.
Exactly. And that's why it's hard, because like also people create things. The internet has created so much shit. We created the internet that created so many outlets. It's like a different universe. Like it's kind of crazy, because like a lot of people are like, I hate the fucking internet. Just like they can say, oh man, I fucking hate that person. Yeah. And then they're like, I'm staying off the internet. Just like you can say, I'm staying away from that person. I'm not talking to that person today. Like it's weird to think about it, but it's so similar how we treat the internet.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like when there's people out there that do troll, that do go through the motion as far as figuring out everything that they're trolling about. And they don't even follow you. That's the biggest thing. If they don't follow you, yeah, that's a fan for sure. That's a mutual agreement between undocumented mutual agreement between you and that person. That's a fucking fan.
And to dig even deeper into the whole person like ideology, we learn so much from the internet.
Yeah,
and it could be lies. We can decide if we want to trust it or not. You know what I mean? But it's like a big asshole that can educate us through it all, or troll us, make us feel bad, manipulate us, and things like that. But it's weird. It's weird. Like, I think my age group is the last age group to like see life without the internet, and then like see it build, like dial up, and then go into like AOL, and then to AIM and like BlackBerry.
BlackBerry.
Like, it just keeps going, bro. I thought I was a shit when I had a BlackBerry. My grandma had a BlackBerry, and I think like it broke, and so she didn't use it anymore. And then I got it, and it wasn't broke.
Yeah.
And so I just started using it, and then that's when Drake was like writing songs. In BlackBerries. I thought I was the coolest because I was doing the same thing. But
no,
that's crazy.
Yeah, just to piggyback off that, man, there's this notion as far as people blasting things on the internet because it's what people want to see. And then on the flip side, it is some of the people do like to see that. Some of the people are engaging on these things that people are like, shit, sometimes boasting. Like that's not even the real life that they're living in.
No, like it's addictive, bro. Like it's addictive to watch it and to be it. You can be a whole different person on the internet. Like to everybody, Ja is this person that just makes songs about girl Casanova, all this bullshit. And like in real life, people like get to know me and they're like, whoa, like I didn't know you talked about that. I didn't know you were this type of person. And I'm like,
that's the cool thing.
Okay.
That's the cool thing about podcasting. It's because I've met a ton of people that told me I would never expect things to come out of their mouth. And it's just like, damn, people people go through things every fucking day. People have these thoughts. People have these feelings. You have a lot in common with people that you grew up in the same city with that you can relate to. And it's just dope to see that the city you grew up in, not even the side of town, there's just so many similarities that these other people have gone through. And it's just like, damn, I connect with that. I fuck with that. And it to me, it's a joy to see because like I said, I've met people through this podcast, and yeah, man, it's been a ride. But social media, we talk about it all the time on the podcast, and it's just another section for us. So
it's like a cafeteria, like what table you sit at.
Yeah, exactly.
Or do you even go?
Yeah, exactly. I guess, man, what's so you said you got another one. We actually got a couple.
Oh yeah.
In the mix right now as far as writing. So how many songs, or when's the next time we put out an album? Let me ask that.
Do I want to answer that?
No, you're good.
Do I want to answer that? Album.
Or when's your next? When do you plan on releasing your next song? That's probably a better question.
Next song.
Because the first one was, the latest one, I watched it, I'm not gonna lie, about 2 or 3 times.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That really like put joy in my heart. I would like for you to watch it another 12 though. No,
yeah.
Plan,
I didn't honestly. So you made the post, and then I went to it, and it was, I didn't even know you can post. I knew you can post on IGTV, but I didn't know that's like another.
It goes to your account.
Yeah. That's another way of like putting like just small videos up on the internet.
Yeah.
And I've always thought you can post to IGTV through your Instagram app, but you can actually go to like a web browser and post on there too. I literally learned that yesterday night.
I actually did that. I was like, I was in Houston, like fucked up. And I was like, oh, it's 12 o'clock. Wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's way better because the resolution
exactly
like gets sent through correctly instead of like sending it through your phone and have the resolution buffer while it's posted. Like Q had taken his time to make sure that this music video looked good. So let's make sure it gets posted correctly. But to answer your question about my next single, I don't really know when I'm going to post it, but it's going to be very soon. I'm not going to take a hiatus like I did before when I feel like people aren't really, when I feel like people are prepared for something new. I'll drop something else, but I want my songs to marinate. When I first started making music by myself, when I think I was in middle school, I was just posting songs every day on SoundCloud, and everybody's like, "Bro, like you're just posting a song every day," and I'm like, "Hell yeah, listen to my shit, man." Yeah. But I've learned that that's not the good thing to do. But I'm not gonna wait too long because everybody's attention span is very short, and I've always gotten to the point where I dropped a whole album. To the girls I shouldn't mention, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing you've ever made. I don't know if you can top this. This is that and the third." And then like a month later, they're like, "Where's the new shit?" And I'm like, "I thought this was the best thing I've ever made." Yeah. Like, I think sit on that.
I think that's I mean, I'm like that with other artists. Like, I mean, Kendrick hasn't dropped in like almost, I don't even know how many years. Like, I want to hear some more shit of Kendrick.
But if you think about it, he doesn't need to. Like,
That's a good point.
I'm not saying like he shouldn't. I'm saying he really doesn't need to. To Pimp a Butterfly, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, Good Kid, Mad City, crazy.
That like, one, yeah.
Bro, Section 8. Section 80. Like, bro,
to take it back. Damn.
What the fuck? Like, we have so much to sit on. Like, a lot of people, like, for the Donald Glover stands, Childish Gambino stands, everybody was like mad because they're like, "Oh, he's never gonna drop again." Bro, I'm always going back to his mixtapes. I'm going back to Dat Piff to download it just so I can get the nostalgia of it all. Yeah. Like J. Cole, like I'm getting all of it. Like I'm downloading the files to my laptop, knowing damn well I don't need to anymore. But I'm going back and I'm listening to it. Because some songs we don't remember. Some songs until we listen to it fully and we're like, "Oh shit, like this
is fire.
This hit."
I was on Dat Piff like 3 months ago, and what's it called? Friday Night Lights, J. Cole.
Hell yeah.
I used to listen to it on the bus to like basketball games and shit. It would give me a hype as fuck, and I was just like, "Damn, I haven't heard this in like 5-6 years. Let me go to Dat Piff." A random thought just came in my head. I was just like, "Yeah, this is fire. I'm fucking saving this."
Bro, this is fire. It gets to the point. I have something in my eye and I have like really bad anxiety with that. It gets to the point where I feel like we have to start appreciating artists for their creations and stop looking at artists as machines. It's like, all right, we listened to this twice, maybe 3 times. Like, where's the next shit? It's like, bro, like I made To the Girls I Shouldn't Mention. I don't know if you heard that album, but that was my first official album, my last album. I made that for people that go through things. Like, there's gonna be times where you're at the mall and you see like 3 girls you used to talk to, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Like, there's Shelby, there's Mariah, there's, oh my gosh, everybody's here, and I literally start off the album naming every girl I shouldn't mention. You know what I mean? So like for that moment in time where you went through that, like you could listen to that song. Then the next song like is When You Want to Stunt. You got some pretty girls around you. You got a nice car. Listen to that one. Like keep going. Like like I made so many songs for you to turn up to be conscious with, to cry to, all that shit, bro. Like to be honest with yourself with. Like it's there.
Yeah, 100%.
Enjoy it, please, because it takes me a while to make that.
I wanna, man, you just blew my mind because I figured out why you made Noticed. Like it's there, it's in you, and I just wanna say that the passion that goes behind making music, the hard work, it's 100% in you. I can see it right away.
Thanks, man.
And it goes without question that Noticed is the right type of music you should have put out, because when you're doing these things, you're working, you're, like I said before, you're just putting in hard work, and people, you feel like, even though sometimes it shouldn't get to you, it gets to you, but like you just go through this motion of just like, fuck, I'm gonna quit. Yeah. And you came back. Different story from now, because I can see that you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be making music.
Man. Thanks. Thank you so much. And just to let everybody know that makes whatever, it doesn't matter if it's music, if it's videos, podcasts, whatever you do, if you're a creator, don't let people be your timer, your ticking time bomb, because that really makes your music or your creation shitty. Like, I had to learn that the hard way. I was just like, me and my producer was making song after song after song, and I go back to it and I'm like, okay, the idea is there, but the effort, the sound, like none of that is there, dude. And I also do video editing, and I got so excited into doing it. And I try to rush it. Shit just never looked right. I never posted it. So like, don't let nobody like give you a time to be done. Like, let your soul tell you when you're done. Because the next song that I'm gonna drop, I'm not gonna tell y'all which one, because I feel like this song is very like a lot of the people that have been paying attention to me. I've been doing a lot of live shows on Instagram, and I've been like just posting all of my or performing my unreleased songs. So I feel like if I say what the song is called, they're gonna go crazy and annoy me about it. But everybody was telling me, because I had the music video done, I had the promotion, I had the photo shoot, all that stuff done. Everybody was like, put that one out. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I don't feel like that's that one. And then I made Noticed, and I was like, not yet. That has to be the comeback song for sure, because nothing else sets the tone correctly. I don't feel like Noticed is my best song too that I have in the tuck. But I feel like it's the right song.
Well, shit, that's good, because I'm here for it, because I mean, that one was a fucking amazing. I just want to finish and conclude and just tell you I appreciate you coming here. Appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Picking your brain and figuring out the whole life of Ja, because it was fucking dope to have you here. Like I said, it took me those 5 minutes to realize you should be here ASAP, and you did it, and you're here. Man. So what's your Instagram name for all the people that are listening?
Madjah Music. That's MADJAHMUSIC. That's at Instagram, and you can look up Ja's art on YouTube as well.
I'll link everything in the description too as well. But if you're on streaming platforms, head over to the Instagram, follow, and just show support, because the music is fire, and it's there. But anything you want to say before we head out?
You're a great soul, dude. You're a great person to talk to for sure. I know I've been like rambling for like a long time, but you kept up, and I like that.
No, that's not, like I said before, off air. Podcasting is podcasting. The more, the merrier. And I just like to go back. I just like to figure out people. I have no idea why, but I just like to figure out different personalities, different ways people make music, different. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own story, and I want to figure out, and I want to know why. And that's just something that's in me. So, appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
Well, guys, appreciate you tuning in. We're gonna conclude it right there. Shout out to Ja one time for coming through and making this a fucking incredible episode. We're gonna fucking clip all these videos, put them up on YouTube, put them up on Instagram. Make this a big one. If you're listening right now on streaming platforms, give this a rating. YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you so much. Until next time, people. Peace.